These are my thoughts that I have never shared with anyone before, but I felt like sharing it with you because I want to be authentic with you. I am a lifelong learner. I don't care if I'm 80, if I'm 60, if I'm 40, if I'm 20. I am always learning, always learning. People think that there's a certain age to learn and then there's a certain age to teach. For example, when you are 60, you just have wisdom to share with people. When you are 70, you just have wisdom to share with people. No. Even in oh my god, I'm not 70 right now, right? But even if I turn 70, I am going to learn from everyone, not just from school, but from everyone. I see life as I am a 6 year old exploring everything. And I just don't learn from, books, from social media, from TV shows, from educated people. I also learn from children, from trees, from plants, from everything. And that's a side thought, but I also learn from shaitan, from psychopaths, from evil people. And that sounds like a bit weird to you. I don't know. Even if it sounds weird to you, but I want to explain it to you. Shaitan has years of experience. He has been manipulating people for centuries. So imagine how much experience he has. Imagine how much he knows, you know? So I'm like, Shaitan is a hard worker. We have to admit that Shaitan is a hard worker, that he doesn't rest. Like I might say that, oh, I don't feel like praying today. Oh, I don't feel like being nice today. Oh, I don't feel like smiling to that person who has certainly wronged me. But Shaitan never says that. Shaitan is always doing his job. Of course, which is to to drag us with him to the Jahannam or to the hell. But he's always doing his job. He's never making excuses. So I am like, wow, if he can do that, if he can do that, why can't I do that, So same with psychopaths. Like psychopaths are like this, they don't care about what other people are going to say about them. They don't care if they are judging them. They are not consumed by this anxiety or fear. They have this confidence. We can learn from people that are not very nice or that are not very kind. If you adopt this mindset, everything becomes a lesson. Everything becomes a lesson. I never allowed myself to make mistakes because when I made mistakes I always shamed myself for making mistakes, but now I don't do that anymore. I'm like, okay, I made the mistake and I learned the lesson. Now let's see, what wisdom do I have? I'm always collecting the wisdom. It's almost like I have this book of wisdom where I'm adding things. If you live one day in my head, you will be surprised. Like the life that I live, it's so magical, it's so exciting, it's so adventurous. I would be doing mundane things like washing dishes, but I would be daydreaming all the time or be in my head and I would be smiling. And if my mom passes me by, she's like really surprised. Like, what is she smiling about? Because we are supposed to complain while washing dishes or doing house chores, but I see it as a blessing. Like, what a blessing it is to even wash your dishes. And I was thinking about it the other day, what an extreme blessing it is to gain knowledge, because I don't want to slip from the topic of our video, because I am going to just talk about everything and not talk about the topic, so let's not do that. I was thinking about like how much a blessing it is to gain knowledge, for free, and within my fingers, like people that have worked so hard to gather all of these hadiths for us, like Imam Bukhari and other people. They would travel for I don't know how much miles, and sometimes even on feet, to just gather one hadith. These were people that were so hungry and so greedy about knowledge, and they inspire me so much. And I'm like, how would these people think if they know that you can just search everything by just by within seconds, by just click of your finger. How would they react and how would they think, I think that we don't appreciate this blessing enough. We just, use our phones and scroll, and we just, we don't even use our phones for our benefit. Everyone seems to curse the phone like this is the evil thing, this is this blah blah. But your use is that is what makes it evil or good. It is not the phone that is itself evil. You can learn the wisdom of the history. You can learn about any subject for free and within the just moving your finger, and that is so fascinating. That is so fascinating, and we don't even use this. We are like so used to it. I want you to think it from the perspective of those people who worked so hard to gather a hadith for us, right? So if you were them, how would you react? You would be so grateful, right? To learn the knowledge. So yes, I'm so grateful. I used to complain about not having people that were, wanted to gain knowledge or wanted to improve themselves around me, because the people that are around me, like they just talk about normal things, but I wanted deeper things. And then I realized that, wait a minute, I can form these communities online. That is such a privilege, isn't it? That you can learn, and then you can just not learn alone, but you can make communities online. So use it as much as you can. Use it to your advantage. Be a lifelong learner. If you can have this mentality, then I would be so grateful. I would think that my like I am doing right things in this earth if more people can have this mindset of learning. So never think that you are too old to learn something. Never think that your memory is bad. No, you can learn anything at any age. Even though I'm young, and you can tell that oh, she's young, she's saying that, and you might be 50 and you are saying this. But I did not have that mentality before. When I was 15, I thought I was too old. That's what I thought. And now, of course, 15 is too young for me. But what you can do is view yourself from the eyes of a 90-year-old. If you are 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, from that 90-year-old's perspective, you are still young and you can do that. So view yourself from a 19-year-old, then you will be so grateful that you can learn these things while you are young and while you have the energy. So I'm so blessed to be in a world where I can learn anything that I want, where I can search up to things, and with ChatGPT and AI it is even easier than ever. So we ought to be more grateful about it. And since I am being my really authentic self, I will give you a little bit of my secret. I have never told this secret of mine to anyone. What I do when I wake up is I think of myself as I am 80 years old. Somehow I am in a body of a young girl. And I am like, what? What? Like to that 80-year-old who couldn't move, who couldn't, you know, run, who couldn't claim or do these things. I am like, oh, I can run. Oh, I can walk. Oh, I can do these things on my own. And I am so excited about everything in my life. I am so excited about everything in my life. To an 80-year-old, it is such a blessing. Even if they would throw millions of dollars just to walk again, if they cannot walk, they would throw millions of dollars just to see, just they could see again. You know what I mean? So I am like, I have this time, I have this energy, I have this body, I have this fresh mind, and I can do things that I want to do. And I think from her perspective, like, what would be my regrets? And oh, it is this. Then I start doing those things, so I cannot have those regrets. So now I have shared my secret, so it is your duty to have that same mindset, so you can appreciate life more and you can be more grateful about the blessings that Allah has given you. Yes. But there was this thing that I was really complaining about because I knew that I had the potential to do it, but I was scared. But I was like, that 80-year-old, she would just be too grateful to have this chance to do it, and she won't care about, you know, being judged by other people. I am truly inspired by these people who learn, who have knowledge and wisdom, of those who invest their time in learning skills, in updating their mind and brain instead of doom scrolling. Some of the scrolling is okay if you are doing it in limits. Just for example, on my page there are a lot of motivational stuff, so I get motivated if I scroll for a while. Should be in the boundaries and not for hours. And I have a lot of time. I have a lot of time. Like I have taken all of the lectures that I wanted to take. I have worked on the things that I wanted to work. I have, you know, spent hours on reading, and I still have a lot of time. And I am like, I was wasting so much of my time on scrolling, because when you're scrolling, time just passes by. So I realized how much of my life I was wasting. So please don't waste your life. Learn, 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 learn. Yes. Write down these words and then say that our leader of the secret society told us to learn, learn, learn. So you can learn, 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 and actually utilize your time in doing some really good stuff. And my brain all of a sudden is really healthy. My mind would be like so foggy before. I wouldn't know what I was doing, and I would be in a sort of delirium. But now I am so fresh. My memory is so good. Oh God. Oh God. So please drag yourself out of this doom scrolling and actually learn. My loves, that was it, because I am going to talk about it for hours. But I am going to turn into a philosopher and talk about stuff. But I'm not sure if you are prepared to see a philosopher right in front of you. So I will just leave the rest of the words to your imagination. And I will disappear from here so that you can ponder about my words.